following video is about the video game rustlegacy.eu 2015 version and trying to find servers. The last day or so, the server list, I almost said Cerberus, the server list has been pretty empty. Now I want to point out that this is not representative of the actual number of servers that exist. There are a couple of websites that will give you a server list that gives the IP, as they call it. It's actually just a URL, Universal Resource Locator. IP address literally is actually just a string of numbers only, and maybe some characters, but really it's mostly numbers, usually in sets of 3. But anyway, besides that little technicality, the game normally brings up from a server someplace a list of servers that are hosting the server for Rust. Now, this is a game that's abandonware. It was made 10 years ago originally, or more, almost actually more, 2013 through 2015. There are 3 versions, 2 of which have almost identical behavior. The 2014 and 2015 version I've done a video about, and the 2013 version that's very, very different. And currently finding a Rust 2013 server is almost impossible, and I gave up a while ago. I didn't do a video on it. And the current versions have a schism because, as you can see, Rome Classic there, it has 20 allowed users, and it's a very modded version of it that I would say has pluses and minuses to it. It's very obvious that the user community has some talented people who know exactly how to alter the game to do cool things, including make it to where you can put in a server list in the official tab. They could also, if they know how to do that, make one for the community tab, the modded tab, friends, whitelist, and also they should have a blacklist where we don't see them because we just don't like them, and that's how we rank them, and maybe even share that. There's a million and one things they could do, but the first thing they would need to do is acknowledge, because this is essentially abandonware, because Steam won't support it, because they also don't support my operating system, which happens to be Windows 7. This is a community project. And when a game goes into community project mode and is over 5 years old, this is 10 years old, you stop withholding information. Dear rustlegacy.eu, release all of the information you found on the simple, hopefully, mods for us to add in a different server list. That means we would use your link that is not consuming your bandwidth. It goes to mega.nz, which is not your website. It's not your server bandwidth being used. Or we can use a torrent or whatever. And let us download the one you did that by default uses your server for your server list, which means we're dependent on a single point of failure, which you're seeing on the screen. Instead of 2 or 3 pages of servers, this is the short list. And it's including Rome Classic that can't work with this version, by the way. I don't know if you noticed that. So your default server apparently is run by you. And I'm talking about the server for lists of other people's servers. That's going to be a line of text somewhere in the file set, or maybe it's encoded in some way. You obviously know how to alter it, otherwise it would still be pointing at the official server run by Gary and Valve and whatnot, and Facepunch. Obviously that information is out there. And I know of 2 websites that could very easily put up a FAQ after you download. Here's how you modify it so you can keep using it even if our website goes down or if our project ends. That's a responsible thing to do. It doesn't cost you anything because you have the information. It's a cut and paste, and the page is not going to cause a bandwidth surge. Just put it up as a simple text one to tell us exactly what to do, even if it's somewhat complicated. All of you cracked the code and made it to where I get to play this wonderful game. And yes, this is a static screenshot. I'm not running the game in the background at this point, if anybody's curious. The point I'm making here is you obviously either had a massive crash or a bunch of people didn't pay their bill this month, or other. I'm not seeing any information. And don't give a link to Discord. Knock it off with Discord. You have an entire website that can be just have a text-based posting that'll consume diddly squat for bandwidth and would serve the community, and we would love you for it. But it means you wouldn't have vendor lock-in. That's the thing that caused this problem in the first place. If this game had been made to where it had overt, just pure text files with a clear entry that says server list, or whatever it's called. This is information you could release. It would take 1 millisecond for it to post, and it would cause zero cost for you guys. Your main, I'm going to call it a business model, is offering hosting for the servers so that we can set up servers, which is massively important. I was thinking about doing one, and I may actually do one later, to just have a pure vanilla, and I would do it, quote unquote, under what is called the arena mode, where you type a command and you can jump from one part of the map to the other in a general area, where that way we could explore the full map, and this would be a wonderful experience. I would set up one where I make new monuments to go to by just building them. I've seen people do that. There are mods for that. That's awesome. But release the information on how we as users can modify any copy of Rust Legacy we have to be able to add in the rest of the servers that I know are out there that are just not listed because you don't have them listed here, because you don't have a server, I don't know, we're going to call it an IP address or whatever, where it has a downloadable list of servers that are available, so we have the commands we can use. Next, if you know how to do it, tell us how to make entries that are separate, like the official, community, modded, friends, whitelist, and history. Tell us how this works. You guys already cracked the code on it. Hell, Rome Classic, which doesn't even work with my version, is listed here. And they made a version of it where they modified a lot of it. I mean, a lot. It has a better map. It's just that it's made very, very obscure. And I would love to know how to do this. But everybody's keeping this secret. Or you have to be in the know. Or that's classified. Or that's privileged. Or some other excuse for not enabling the user to make it to where the game never dies. The reason you have your business model of providing servers for us to have Rust Legacy servers, which is awesome and we appreciate it, is the same thing you're still encouraging. A lack of transparency on how to do this. Let us have the ability to alter our copies to where we can add in other server lists, or even find out, hell, give us a hack to where we can add in all of them so we can pick whatever we want. This is like having a web browser that only serves AOL or only allows you to use Microsoft's website, which, by the way, that's actually happened a couple of times. A closed ecosystem is doomed to die. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. And yes, rustlegacy.eu, please, it's just text. No, not Discord. Stop it with Discord. If you bring up Discord on the page of a FAQ one more damn time, honestly, you need to be blacklisted by us. Stop it. Okay? Let us have the information you obviously have for the freaking client, please. Also, it's great that you're hosting the 2015, 2014, and 2013 version. But, I mean, I had to dig up the information on how to enable some keys on my keyboard. That's why I'm going to do a video today on how to make it to where you can turn right and left without having to use the mouse. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that.